All right, everybody, let's get into this Buckeye Banter Instantish Browns reaction to yesterday's exciting game against those Bengals. Here we go. Welcome to Buckeye Banter Sports in the OH. All right, so today we're going to talk about that Browns game yesterday. Wow, wow, wow. What a game. Man, I mean, they've had everything you could want, other than some defense. And that's the one thing the Browns have got to be thinking right now is where in the world are we going to get some defense? I mean, fourth quarter had 5 lead changes, if I remember correctly, if I counted them right. And that was the first time the Browns led was in the fourth quarter. Back and forth multiple times until then. No one was ever really in control of the game. But finally, in the fourth quarter, with that amazing touchdown catch and throw, the Browns sealed the victory. I think we can all agree that after one terrible quarter, Baker went on to have a pretty incredible game. Doesn't answer the question for me yet. Is he the man going forward? We need to see that something nowhere near exactly that those 3 quarters, because those were insane. But a little more consistency and a little more of that type of play out of him for a few weeks before I think anyone's willing to say that's the guy we thought we had. We hoped we had. But man, if he can play anywhere near like he played in those final 3 quarters yesterday, that would be something. And that'd be what would make us, all of us Browns fans, super excited. So let's see what happens going forward with Baker, and hopefully, these next few weeks we can see that. Let's look at a few stats from my guy Dusty Sloan. So Dusty's got a few key stats here for us. The Browns are now 5-2. That's a best 7-game start since 1994 when they were 6-1. Pretty incredible. Baker, first NFL 5 TD passing game. He had a franchise record 21 completions in a row, and he completed 22 of his last 23 for 5 TDs. The only incompletion was that spike to stop the clock. Pretty incredible run there at the end of that game. And this is the Browns' 5th 30-point game in 2020. The 1968 team did it 9 times. So they could be looking at duplicating that sort of feat, which would be pretty cool. Thank you, Dusty Sloan, for those stats. I think everybody who enjoyed the game saw a lot of that happening, but it's cool to see the context of some of those stats there. Again, for the Browns coming up, we've got obviously the news that just came out that OBJ is out for the season with that ACL injury. I imagine they're going to be out there looking for a wide receiver, seeing who they can bring in. Obviously, it's not AB because we know he went to Tampa Bay. I don't really think we wanted AB anyways, but we'll see who they can bring in. The depth there is really, really shallow, so we'll see what happens there. The next few weeks are very favorable. So, we're 5-2 and looking at a home game against the Raiders. Shouldn't be easy, but I imagine we're going to be favored for 4 games coming up. Not that I'm a betting guy, but if I was, what I know about that industry is that I think that we'll be favored against the Raiders at home, then the Texans and the Eagles at home, as of right now. And then on the road at the Jaguars, again, we should be favored. So 4 games we should win. If Baker can play anywhere near like he's capable, and like what we saw as a rookie and what we saw for 3 quarters yesterday, easily we should win those games. And in a number of those games, we should score 30 points again. So it could be really interesting coming up against the Titans then on the road. I imagine we won't be favored in that game as of right now, even though both teams are fairly even. But the Titans got the experience, and they're coming off that big year last year, trip to the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens there. Sorry, did they get the Super Bowl? No. AFC Championship. So yeah, big year for them last year, and obviously not quite the same team this year as they were last year, but still a good team. So I think on the road we won't be favored in that one. So let's see what happens in these coming weeks. Hope you enjoy this Instantish reaction. And again, let's see what the Browns do on the coming days, bringing in a wide receiver. I imagine I've seen a lot of talk about this, and I agree. Something's got to happen at safety. This organization owes it to the rest of the team. I appreciate Sendejo. I think he's a good dude from all I can tell. He's a good leader, good locker room guy. He's out of his league right now. He has no business to be on the field as much as he is. So we've got to do something about that. Um, let's hope they can bring someone in to that position. Right now we're kind of unable to probably trade Njoku, even though that was something people were thinking might happen, unless Hooper recovers quicker than we think he will. And but one way or another, they need to bring in some defensive talent, especially linebacker and safety, in my opinion. So let's see what they can do to upgrade a couple of these key spots. I mean, safety would be my number one. And yeah, let's go Browns. Hey, crazy game, but we win. And you know what? There's been a lot of years where those crazy games end up and we don't win. So we got to be excited about that. Let's just keep hoping that this team continues to get better and win these games that they're in instead of losing them. And let's give this organization, this group that's in there now, a little bit of time to finally develop. I think, like I've heard some people say as well, I agree that it'd be really nice to see Baker in a second year with the same coach and the same system. Um, but his contract and where he's at right now, as he's looking at that fifth year coming up, is going to be tricky. So they're going to have to make some decisions, and he's going to need to show us something the rest of this year. Yesterday was a good start. All right, go Browns. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on all the different platforms out there, and appreciate your giving us a little bit of your time, and have a good day.